Welcome to A Closer Look. I'm your host, Krishna Russell. Tonight, we go beyond the surface and into the real work shaping the Bahamas, where development isn't just discussed, it's happening in real time. Across the island, roadworks are underway, paving crews are at work, and local government is playing an increasingly vital role in driving change within communities. And tonight, we take a closer look at the impact unfolding across the country. Stay with us. There's more A Closer Look after the break.
A memorable stay isn't made in a single night. It's shaped in the details. Every sound, every glance, every touch. Where you're not just welcomed, but understood. Where time slows and every comfort feels effortless. Whether it's the shimmer of the pool, the quiet of a suite, or the taste that lingers long after dinner, each moment becomes a part of your story. British Colonial, where legacy meets luxury. Stay for what it means to you.
Welcome back. We take you behind the ministry. Tonight, the focus is on the Ministry of Works and Family Island Affairs and the critical role it plays in keeping our nation connected and moving forward. From infrastructure projects to ongoing maintenance across our islands, its work continues to impact communities every single day. Our Charlie Swain has more. Over to you.
Today, we're lifting the veil and taking you behind the Ministry of Works and Family Island Affairs to give you a closer look at the ministry that keeps our islands connected. Roadworks, infrastructure, and maintenance are just a few things the Ministry of Works and Family Island Affairs is known for. But what else does the ministry do, you might ask? Robert Muzas, Director of Works at the Ministry of Works and Family Island Affairs, is the backbone of the nation's infrastructure.
So we're responsible for all government infrastructure, be it a seawall, a dock, a road, a bridge, a building, a clinic, etc.
Current priorities of the Ministry of Works and Family Island Affairs includes enhancing public facilities across the nation.
So we're looking at road renewals, we're looking at drainage, improving our drainage, we're looking at improving key infrastructure like airports, schools, clinics, everything, administration offices in the Family Islands.
The Ministry of Works and Family Island Affairs continues to work throughout the Bahamas, from New Providence to the Family Islands, such as Exuma and Eleuthera.
We have a lot of work going on in the Family Islands, from Bimini, Abaco in the north, all the way down to Inagua in the south. Many projects to the tune of over $500 million. They are currently in progress.
With upgrades all around, the ministry is stepping into the future with plans to be completely digital and cashless within the next few years.
So the Ministry of Works aims to be the most digitized ministry in the country in regards to how you do work, how quick you can get building applications out. And we have started that process. In short order, you'll see whether it's you pin a pothole or you report flood issues, or how you apply for building plans, you will see a streamlined process from the Ministry of Works.
The Ministry of Works and Family Island Affairs plays a central role in national development, and its impact is felt throughout our shores. Reporting for A Closer Look, I'm Charlie Swain.
Thank you, Charlie. From infrastructural upgrades to local government, I had the opportunity to learn more about what the Ministry of Works is doing on the Family Islands. In the Bahamas, development in the Family Islands is driven by local leadership, a driving force in giving communities a direct voice in how their islands grow and thrive. Local government, currently active in 33 island districts, plays a vital role in shaping daily life across the archipelago. Through administrators, councils, and town committees, according to Donald Roll, acting director in the Department of Local Government, residents help guide decisions that impact their communities from infrastructure to economic growth.
Local government is headed by an administrator, and you have a council and you have a town committee. So those town committees and the council, they decide what happened on the island, whether it's business, whether it's economic growth. They are the ones who make decisions for their communities and their particular islands. Local government is local government. And once the people decide on their communities and their islands, I can see enormous impact, enormous beneficial economic and social impact.
Beyond governance, the ministry also supports one of the country's most celebrated traditions, sailing. The Regatta Desk, which falls under the Ministry of Works and Family Island Affairs, works behind the scenes to coordinate regattas, ensuring the events run smoothly.
The Regatta Desk is collaborate and to coordinate regattas throughout the Bahamas, and it works closely with these regatta committees throughout the Family Islands.
That coordination means successfully pulling off several regattas in the country each year, lending to a wholesome financial impact in those communities.
It showcases our culture, our food, our music, and most of all, economically. It has a great impact on these family islands, and it brings people together. Family members, friends, all of them come together and celebrate these regattas.
From decision-making to cultural celebration, the work of local government and the Regatta Desk reflects a shared commitment to community, culture, and continued growth across the Bahamas. The message is clear. Progress in the Family Islands is being powered by community through the Ministry of Works and Family Island Affairs. Stay with us. There's more closer look after this break.
This is the National Youth Guard program designed to train young people to help the Bahama Islands in times of disaster.
I decided to join to better serve my country as well as to better myself.
We train the help in search and rescue,
electrical, plumbing, and carpentry,
and things that they can actually expand on in their careers.
Young people who join the Youth Guard program discover a sense of identity, a sense of purpose, and a sense of patriotism.
This program isn't about only the individuals, it is about the country.
Welcome back. If you've driven anywhere lately, you've seen the work. And tonight, we take you behind the scenes of the team making it happen. In this edition of Behind the Ministry, we spotlight the Ministry of Works and Family Island Affairs, the force behind road paving, patching, and major repairs across the Bahamas. It's the work that keeps the country moving, 1 mile at a time. We learn more on this project from ACL correspondent Patrick DeVoe.
The roadways has long been a point of contention among local commuters, but thanks to the Ministry of Works and Family Island Affairs, citizens can now look forward to relief on their drives.
Due to the roadways becoming such a vast undertaking over the years, the Ministry of Works has developed a specialized unit to attend specifically to roadworks. Francis Clark, Senior Engineer of Maintenance and Construction, explains where and how they intend on improving the roadways.
Over a period of years, traffic volumes have increased on the island of New Providence. And when traffic volumes increase, that means we have to carry out some roadway expansion. Currently, we have paving going on in the Western Road, some community areas like Garden Hills, the Carmichael area, and Southern Shores. Other future expansions, roadway expansions or improvement also include the realignment of the West Bay Street, which is near what we call Go Slow Bend.
Clark further expressed that the plans aren't just for a few selected areas, but they intend on improving the roadways throughout the entire island of New Providence.
So one other road construction project or road improvement project is the Coral Harbor Road Improvement Project, located between the roundabout by Adelaide Road and going in through the residential area of Coral Harbor. That project is mainly a drainage infrastructure improvement project the area has developed to a point whereas the ecological wetland of the area has been impacted, and as a result of higher rainfall intensity, there's been flooding in an area near budget.
We heard from some business persons and commuters in the area on how the recent roadworks has had an impact on their daily travels.
To be honest, if you know where it used to be, then you know how far we come from. I'd say it's be a little smooth for me to get to where I go, a little faster, a little easier on your tires and everything like that way and tear. You ain't gotta spend too much, but overall I'd say it's a good job.
I think I'm very proud of the work the Ministry of Works has done. I can see that everywhere you go, there's always like paving happening. So they're always upgrading something, and I think they've taken the complaints of Bahamians very seriously in that there was too many potholes, it rains, and everything just gets washed away, and we're like, my cars can't survive this. And so I think the Ministry of Works has taken that very seriously, and not just in doing the work and making sure that it gets done, but in communicating that to the public.
With the road team gearing up to make vast improvements on many of the major roadways within the Bahamas, smooth sailing, or should I say smooth driving, can be predicted for motorists in the months to come. Reporting for a closer look, I'm Patrick DeVoe.
Thank you, Patrick. Across the country, efforts are ramping up to bring order and accountability to communities. And tonight, we take you inside the work driving that push. We highlight the Unregulated Communities Action Task Force, a multi-agency unit under the Ministry of Works and Family Island Affairs, taking on the demolition and beautification of structures and enforcing building standards nationwide. It's a mission focused on safety, compliance, and reshaping communities. Our Tizelle Lightbourne tells us more.
Across the Bahamas, ensuring safe, lawful, and sustainable communities remains a top priority. Tonight, we take a closer look at the work of the Unregulated Communities Action Task Force, thanks to the Ministry of Works and Family Island Affairs.
This multi-agency task force works to identify, regulate, and dismantle unsafe communities while promoting orderly, lawful development across the Bahamas.
The Unregulated Community Action Task Force is a team of agencies made up by different law enforcement and other agencies, namely the Royal Bahamas Police Force, the Royal Bahamas Defense Force, the Ministry of Works, Agriculture, Environmental Health, the Attorney General Office. The project charged with the task force at this time is to eliminate all unregulated communities and make sure that we restore regulated communities, areas that has running water and livable conditions for the people.
Some of those areas include Russell Island, Fire Trail Road, and Pride Estates, just to name a few. Although the ministry is mandated to demolish these communities, the Ministry of Works is also focused on beautification and restoration.
The land has been repurposed back to commercial and private farming. You have the area on Cowpen Road, T-Wash. That has been repurposed back to agriculture, and several other areas that we have done our demolition. We have made recommendation to housing so that we can have more affordable homes for Bahamian people.
Timothy Johnson, Chief Architect, also discussed an exciting restoration project here in New Providence scheduled for completion in April 2026.
We have recently substantially completed the water tower, all right? As you're aware, the water tower has been a strong symbol in the Bahamian community. We've rehabilitated the entire structure. It has new lighting, for the most part. The structural elements and the structural integrity of the project has been restored.
By addressing illegal structures and enforcing building regulations, the Unregulated Communities Action Task Force is protecting land and infrastructure, ultimately protecting the safety and well-being of Bahamians and residents. Reporting for a closer look, I'm Tizelle Lightbourne.
Thank you, Tizelle. There's more A Closer Look after this.
You ready for church, Grammy? Bro, you
still hiding your money under this mattress?
I ain't putting my money in no bank or no credit union. My money protected right here with me for my peace of mind.
It's 2025, Grammy, and I promise you, nobody after your money. But if one of those institutions do get mashed up, your money's still protected.
So, why I gotta pay for my money to be protected?
Oh man, Grammy, with those DIC member institutions, your deposit already protected automatically.
So, I ain't gotta hide money around the house no more?
Don't say that too loud, Grammy. Looking to get robbed. With the Deposit Insurance Corporation of the Bahamas, your savings, checking, and fixed deposits are protected up to $50,000 per depositor per member institution.
Welcome back. We take a closer look at the work shaping infrastructure and development across our islands. We're joined now by the Honorable Clay Sweeting, Minister of Works and Family Island Affairs. Welcome, Minister.
Welcome. Thank you, Krishna.
Thanks for having us today.
Yeah, thank you.
Minister, when you travel around the Family Islands, what are some of the things residents are saying to you about the changes that you've made?
Right. So this administration took a focused approach on the amount of infrastructure that we were going to intentionally ensure was attributed to the Family Islands. Mm-hmm. And if you look across the whole country, you'll see that every island is being touched with major infrastructure. This year alone, we have over $600 million of capital works being carried out throughout the Family Islands. You look at Long Island and Eleuthera, Exuma, Andros and Abaco and Grand Bahama, even to islands in the south, Inagua, Cat Island. So this administration has touched people with the most infrastructural development in Family Islands in decades.
And Minister, tell us, how do these changes translate into real life instances for residents? So are they seeing new bridges? Are they seeing roads? Are they seeing new airports? Explain.
Right. So infrastructure, there's a saying that if you build it, the people will come. And this is showed throughout the Family Islands. You have seen economies that were once dead take off. And South Eleuthera, for instance, is one where anyone who wants a job is now has an opportunity to do so. Mm-hmm. We're building airports throughout the Family Islands. And airports brings connectivity. Roads makes it accessible for farmers to get to their farms, fishermen to put their boats in the water. So infrastructure is important for development in all industries, whether it's tourism, whether it's orange economy, whether it's culture, whether it's regattas and festivals. All this is needed to help better Family Island and the people that live there.
Now, you talked a little bit about the airports and the roads. How does this translate into economic, unlocking economic potential in the Family Islands?
Right. So there again, you look at airports that we've started in South Eleuthera, in Governor's Harbor. Governor's Harbor is a perfect example. Prior to the redevelopment of that airport, American Airlines did not have flights coming internationally to that airport. Now, some days they have 3 flights, 2 from Miami and 1 from Charlotte, going direct into Governor's Harbor. So when persons say that there is only so many people that live on this island and they don't deserve an airport, you will see economies thrive because of that. Cat Island will be a perfect example with 2 brand new airports there. Because once you build it, we have so much to offer in this country, and we have to ensure that the infrastructure is there to support the economic development that this administration, that the Davis administration has for the islands.
And speaking of those improvements to islands like Cat Island, there may be some communities who say they haven't seen, infrastructural developments as yet. What would you say to them?
Right. So I'm glad you raised that, because there's very few that hasn't. In a 4-year term.
That's good to hear.
Yeah, we speak about progress and how it's important for governments to be continuous, especially now where we've seen the development in South Andros, and we have on tap for Mangrove Key, a new dock in Bullocks Harbor, and all of these developments is a continued progression to where we want to be as a country. So very few islands has not seen some form of capital development or investment from this administration.
And would you say there have been any projects that residents can point a finger to and say, this has really made a difference in our lives?
Yes, I think of one offhand. Anyone who traveled to North Andros understood how bad the road was to get from Red Base to the community in North Andros. That road is now paved, and we've also provided them with a fishing dock there for the boaters there. So now residents who used to traverse, who didn't want to travel to Red Base, that has made a significant improvement there for the persons who live there. Mm-hmm. We've seen the airports, the airport in Cat Island should be open in a few weeks, mm-hmm. and that's going to be exciting, especially for the Member of Parliament and the Prime Minister.
Very exciting news.
Yeah, mm-hmm. There. We've seen infrastructure in Long Island. I think about Long Island, which is a community and island that's been confined because of the lack of infrastructural upgrades there. The airport, the new runway at Deadman's Key, will now provide an opportunity for the industrious people of Long Island to come back home and to build their community, because now larger jets could land there, they could take off there, and Long Island is a community where persons have worked extremely hard to make something of themselves, but most of them have left to do that. Now they can return back home. So you don't only build infrastructure mm-hmm. for the community, but you allow the economy to grow where persons who long to come back home will be able to do so.
And speaking of people being able to come back home, when you think about in the years to come, what is your vision for infrastructure across the Family Islands, and how would you say the Ministry of Works will help to shape that vision?
Right. So the Ministry of Works, my vision, and I think it's a shared vision, right, along with the Prime Minister and Cabinet colleagues, that there will be an integration through digitization and being able to connect persons in that aspect. Mm-hmm. We also want to continue the investment in the Family Islands as well as in New Providence. So in New Providence, we have, over 10 road contractors paving currently. In the Family Islands, we have a good number as well. I think this might be the first time in a long time, if not in history, that we are providing opportunities to almost every road paving contractor who has requested an opportunity to make something themselves. Mm-hmm. And every road paving contractor in New Providence and the Family Islands are Bahamians. So we have Bahamians building roads, building docks, building bridges for Bahamians. Mm-hmm. So we have a massive overhaul of infrastructure in the Bahamas and what we envision it. And mm-hmm. That's what's important about local government being a part of the Ministry of Works as well. Mm-hmm. Because the people that live there are a part of sending the recommendations of what they want their islands to look like. Mm-hmm. So their needs and their wants and what they feel could help to better their community plays a role in being a part of that.
And speaking of the needs and wants of the community, while we have you, mm-hmm. can you just tell us about the Glass Window Bridge project?
Right. So that is an exciting project that has been promised for decades. We finally signed the preliminary mm-hmm.
Contract
to start the work there and start the core component. Mm-hmm. That project will be the first bridge in the Family Islands to be managed by the Bridge Authority. So currently the Bridge Authority manages 2 bridges, okay. Which is the Paradise Island bridges.
Right.
This will be the first one, mm-hmm. and it helps to speak to how we modernize and how we do things. Before we build and we don't manage and don't ensure that it's managed properly and it's maintained. The Bridge Authority does a wonderful job here in New Providence, and they will be the ones to manage that. But on top of that, it's more than a bridge. So at this location, it will be a full cultural site. So Bahamians can rent locations for selling cultural products or selling food or entertainment. So this will be more than a bridge to cross. It'll be one of the wonders of the world where persons can come, hang out, enjoy a good Bahamian time. So it's an integration of Bahamian culture and our economy, infrastructure, tourism. So it brings all of that together in one space.
And before we let you go, before we wrap up this segment, are there any final words you'd like to leave with us in terms of the ministry and its work and where you stand in all of this?
Right. So first of all, I'd like to thank the Prime Minister for giving me the opportunity to serve in two ministries, in agriculture and now in Works. The Ministry of Works has come a long way. We have started to digitize the ministry. We're paving roads throughout the country. We're building docks. We're building bridges. We're ensuring that as much as we are able to do, that the people throughout the Commonwealth of the Bahamas feel us. And it's more than building bridges and docks. It's about building an economy, empowering Bahamians, and ensuring that the progression that we have done over the past 5 years continues.
Minister, thank you so much for joining us. It is clear that the future of infrastructure, the Ministry of Works, the future looks bright for us. Our infrastructure, we're on the right track.
We're on the right track, and we got a lot more work to do, and we're excited to keep working for the Bahamian people.
Stay tuned. There's more Closer Look after this. As we've seen, the work of the Ministry of Works and Family Island Affairs extends far beyond bricks and mortar. It's about building stronger, more connected communities and laying the groundwork for a more resilient Bahamas. We thank Minister Clay Sweeting for joining us and sharing insight into the vision and priorities guiding this critical ministry. From New Providence to the Family Islands, the commitment to infrastructure, accessibility, and sustainable development remains central to national progress. Thank you for joining us on this episode of A Closer Look. I'm your host, Krishna Russell.